All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Twisted Life of TV. I am Poetry. You are here for another PNTV. That's Poetry Snooze and Twisted Views. Gonna give you a little bit of channel news to go with this today. I can't do it in my car right now, you guys, because last time I recorded a video, I was doing it live and no sound was picking up. So to ensure that you can hear some shit, I'm gonna do it here on camera in my house. So let's just get right on to the sad news and the bad news first. Let's get this out the way. So, as we all know, Donald Trump is the president-elect. Despite missing ballots and other tomfoolery that went on with the election, he is the president-elect for the upcoming inauguration in January, right? Somehow, he has made history by nominating the most unqualified, criminalistic extremist in the history of any administration. He's nominated these people to his cabinet. Some of them are permanent. Some of them have to be voted on. We talked about that just a little in last PNTV Live. If you want to go hear about that, just log on over there and go see that. I think I timestamped majority of the video. So a lot of people were asking about what was going to go on with Donald Trump's cases, because you know he has several lawsuits. He has 34 convictions. He's been impeached twice. He's paid off countless numbers of people. I think I had it written down exactly how many people that he has paid off. What did I do with that information? I don't know what I did with the information. I had like 17 sexual assault allegations from 1987 into present that was outlined. Maybe I put that on another device and I'm not sure. But we're going to go with what everybody's worried about right now. So, in Donald Trump's New York Manhattan case, what we call the hush money case, the one where he paid off Stormy Daniels and other news affiliates in order to win or in order to help his 2016 presidential election. This case was scheduled to be sentenced on November 26th of this year. He's already been convicted, which that means they've already said he's guilty of 34 convictions. 34. But they still had to sentence him. They've been delaying the sentencing because he keep filing appeals and yada yada this and yada yada that. And they were going to make a decision on whether or not they were going to move forward with the sentencing, being that he is now the president-elect. I've told you guys before, the federal jurisdiction has nothing to do with state charges and or convictions, which means even though the Supreme Court said that he was presidentially immune for things that he's done in the act of whatever, it does not apply to state cases. However, in this particular case, in this hush money case, all of these deeds happened prior to him even becoming president in 2016. So even if that immunity did apply, it wouldn't apply to this now because, you know what I'm saying, all this stuff happened before he went into president. So the sentencing itself, like I said, was already delayed to November 26th. They are pushing it again. The Department of Justice has this rule or regulation that says they do not convict a sitting president. And even though the State Department does not have to follow by those regulations, they do in good faith follow them, okay? Even though he has been convicted, so they're not convicting him. He's already been convicted. But they figure in good faith, we're going to follow what the Department of Justice says. So we're not going to even sentence him right now. Now, they were pressing for District Attorney Alvin Bragg to pursue dismissal of this case. Alvin Bragg said, the fuck I will. He's not going to dismiss anything, but he will, in good faith, delay sentencing. What that means, as I think I told you guys before, I told you in the live the other day, he could either have gotten a fine for his convictions, because it was on the table based off of the crimes that he committed. He could have got fines. They could dismiss the case altogether, which means make it go away, or they could delay it. Alvin Bragg chose to delay the sentencing. So what that means is once Donald Trump leaves office, which we're hoping he does, we're hoping that he does not try to circumvent the Constitution and keep himself in office forever, which this is what I believe he was going to do. But if he does leave office, or when he does leave office, they can continue on with the sentencing, which means he can start going to jail after he becomes president or after he leaves office. Okay. Now, unlike every normal, everyday person, Trump's criminal convictions will not stop him from getting a national security clearance in order to be president. In any government job, there's a certain level of clearances that you have to get. Some of them doesn't require a deep dive. There are secret clearances. There's a lot of different levels of clearances, right? You need top security clearance. You need top level, the highest one, in order to be president. So they're going to circumvent his convictions and allow him to get a security clearance that he shouldn't have in the first damn place. We already know that he sold off information or shared information with other foreign nationals and other random ass people like Kid Rock, who had no business looking at national security documents and information. We already know he did that. That's one of his cases that he has against him. And they're going to give him a security clearance again in order to have that information so that way he could preside over the United States of America. Now, with this in mind, this is what I'm saying. If they are going to allow Donald Trump to still get a security clearance with his 34 convictions, they should no longer require convictions to keep anybody from getting a job. There should not be any question of whether or not you're a felon on an application. There should be never a question of whether or not you had any type of convictions or felonies in a job interview. That shouldn't matter. Hell, your qualifications shouldn't fucking matter in a job anymore based off how he's making these selections for this cabinet. I say do away with the application process altogether and anybody can get a job anywhere. If I wanted to be a fucking astronaut, I should be able to go down to NASA and get a job. And they should not turn me around because qualifications evidently do not matter. And you can clearly see that by the selection of Trump's cabinet choices. Okay? And it's funny to me how they were so mad and so upset about affirmative fucking action when that basically helped qualified people get the job. Qualified people not be overlooked because of their race or their sex or their gender or their religion. That's what affirmative action was about. And they were so up in arms about that shit. But he has basically spit in our motherfucking faces and elected or selected people for his cabinet that have no qualifications, that are criminals, that are sexual abusers, that are known drug users, that are extremists in regards to race, xenophobia, this, that, and the third. These are the people that he nominated to his cabinet. Now, I just saw on the news today, and I don't know why I didn't know this before, because my daughter said it's been out there for a while. Robert F. fucking Kennedy Jr. had made a statement before about why he wanted to take fluoride out of the tap water. You know, the stuff that's keeping our teeth from falling out our fucking mouths. The reason why he wanted to do that, because he put frogs in tap water for some fucking reason. I don't know why. He just likes to kill animals. We already know he killed the bear. He wanted to put frogs into fucking tap water. These frogs supposedly all turned feminine in that tap water. So in his demented ass worm fed mind, he's saying that if the tap water can turn frogs feminine because of the fluoride, then what do you think it's doing to men? So it's turning men feminine. But what's doing to women? What is it doing to women? We should be most daintiest bitches out here, right? You cannot be that stupid. That stupid. Look, like I said, you can commit fraud. You could sexually assault somebody. You could sleep with minors. You can kill dogs. You can kill bears. You can have known drug issues. You can steal millions from Medicare and Medicaid programs. Heck, you could even be an illegal immigrant, Elon Musk. And you can still get a high security job in our government. They should remove all job requirements from every fucking job, and everybody should be able to work in whatever field they want to. Train them bitches. That's what you should do. Oh, makes me mad, right? Do y'all know how many background interviews that I had to do for my friend? She's applying for a job in Homeland Security, right? As far as I know, her job is answering the fucking phone. And I done had to talk to I don't know how many fucking FBI personnel in regards to her getting this guy doggone job. They asking me the same motherfucking questions over and over again. How long have you known her? Has she been a really good friend? What y'all talk about when you talk on the phone? Shit like that. Is she good with money? She know how to count? Can she spell her ABCs? Can she count backwards from 10? They asking me all kind of shit. What's her blood type? What's her mama blood type? Why she don't talk to her mama, but she talk to her daddy? What they be talking about? They asking me all kind of stupid ass questions. Remember when I was gonna apply for a job for Homeland Security, and I said that the application that I wanted for the position I wanted was 124 fucking pages? This is what they required of me. A fucking government employee has been a government employee for 32 motherfucking years of my life, and they wanted a 124 page application for me to get a job at fucking Homeland Security. That's all I was gonna be doing was reviewing visa applications. That was it. That was it, to making sure that they were filled out properly. And they out here passing out fucking jobs to these nuts. These MAGA nuts. They just passing them out. Oh, really fucking nearly. I want to digress, but it's hard for me to. I want to digress, but it's hard for me too. In Georgia. His other criminal case, child. If y'all didn't know, Fani Willis was up for re-election, and she won re-election by 68%. Trump still has a RICO case in the state of Georgia. Again, state cases do not have to follow federal rules, which means his criminal indictments still stand. Now, they, of course, did all that ruckus with Fanny and who she was fucking or who she, going on trips with and shit like that. And they filed a case against her, and it went through appeals, right? So the case right now is still sitting in appeals, and it was not supposed to be looked at until after the election, which is 2025. They are, of course, urging Fani Willis to dismiss that case as well. Fani Willis said, the fuck I will. Okay? She actually said she want to thank the citizens for re-electing her because they know that she will do her job to the best of her ability, and she intends to prosecute the case against Donald Trump and his co-defendants to the fullest extent of the law. Again, that's not supposed to take place until 2025. Now, again, in good faith, they will hold off on prosecuting Donald J. Trump. His co-defendants don't have that same protection. So she still will go after the co-defendants in RICO style fashion. And if they are all convicted, that's not looking good for the orange one once he leaves office. All right, we know he had 2 federal cases. The 2 federal cases were both being prosecuted by Jack Smith, special counsel. The documents case down in Florida was dismissed by Eileen Cannon because she said that Jack Smith wasn't able to prosecute the case based on the Constitution, which there's no constitutional law that dismisses him. As a matter of fact, it allows him to prosecute this case. But she dismissed it, and there is currently an appeal filed against her dismission with the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals. Okay. They probably won't look at that until 2025, or they may push it back later. That's the documents case. His other case is the election fraud or election interference case, which was delayed until after the election, because and is now going to be delayed even further because he is now the president-elect. So special counsel Jack Smith is rumored to be quitting, and his entire team to be stepping down as well. That sounds bad on the surface. It really sounds bad. But I think I told you guys in the live stream, there were 3 things that he could have did as well. He could have, 1, dismissed the case and it all went away. 2, he could have did nothing and allowed Trump to pardon himself. If Trump pardoned himself, that would be against the Constitution to assign someone under your tutelage to remove the charges against you. That is against the Constitution. However, we know that the U.S. Supreme Court hasn't followed the Constitution already, and they make up their own fucking rules, so they probably would have did something willy-nilly with that shit, right? So that was number 2. Number 3 would be to suspend or delay the case, right? Again, the federal law or the federal regulations, because it's not a law, stated that they do not convict or prosecute a sitting president, which means they would have to wait for him to get out of office in order to prosecute him. So Jack Smith could have did nothing and just suspended the case as well. Well, Trump has already threatened to fire him and threatened to arrest him. Okay, so if Jack Smith steps down and removes himself from the case, including his entire teams, that essentially puts the case in limbo. It'll be in limbo, right? Okay. And since it will be in limbo, it will sustain the statute of limitation. So the statute of limitations will not expire in this case, and he will be able to be prosecuted once he leaves office. The pundits out there are saying, yeah, this case is going to get thrown out because even if Jack Smith stepped down, they're just going to put somebody else in his place, and that person could say, you know what, we don't want a doggone try him. We don't see enough evidence to try him. But I do not believe that is the case because once he steps out, the case is suspended. Okay, and again, if Trump appoints someone who then gives him authority to dismiss the case, it's unconstitutional. Okay, so he has civil cases. There's actually 3. He has a civil case with E. Jean Carroll for sexual assault, which she already won. He has a defamation case with E. Jean Carroll, which she has already won, and is totaling $83,300,000 plus interest that has to be paid to her. Trump has filed an appeal on the sexual assault case. He did not file on the defamation. He filed an appeal on the sexual assault case in hopes that that case gets thrown out. If they rule in Trump's favor, then essentially the defamation case goes away. Because if they rule in his favor, they're saying, okay, you're right, you didn't sexually assault her. So anything he said against that case or against her in regards to that case will no longer be considered defamation. So that case will go away. I do not believe that's going to happen. I do not believe it's going to happen. So many appeals have been filed. He's lost appeal after appeal. He's just trying to prolong paying this woman. But the longer he prolongs it, the more interest adds up. Okay. The next one will be his New York financial statement fraud case. This is where Attorney General Letitia James was brought suit against him for the state of New York, which they won as well, totaling $363,800,000, and is growing daily interest of about $90,000 a day. Okay. He also was barred from running any type of corporation in the state of New York, and he had to liquidate his companies. Now, all of this was put on pause when the appeals court lowered his bond and made it $175 million, which he was able to get a backer to pay for him, right? So he's trying to they're not trying to appeal it, but because the judge lowered his bond requirement, they are trying to determine whether or not the judgment itself was too extensive. So his judgment may get lowered from that $363 million. It may get lowered. Because normally in that type of case, the bond has to equal the judgment. And since they only made him pay $175 million, it's possible that the $175 million may be his settlement, which means it'll be done with. But as of right now, in the civil cases against E. Jean Carroll and the state of New York, Trump is still required to pay both of these suits, even as a sitting president. Okay? I hope I got y'all all caught up on that. All right. Next in election news. The Georgia election workers that was defamed by Rudy Giuliani are now asking a judge to hold him in contempt of a new legal threat. As of today, Giuliani has continuously defamed them on his podcast. They've already won their case, I believe, in a total of $41 million. And he continuously defames them over and over again by saying that that they are crooked, they did the crime, and what the ladies are saying are lies about him. There was election fraud, yada yada this, yada yada that, right? So they are suing him for contempt of court, which could result in more defamation awards. Okay. You know, he already has to give up his house, his cars, his keys, and all that stuff. But on November 12th, he has a podcast. Everybody got a fucking podcast. On November 12th, he stated himself that he knows that he could face more consequences in court for his statements, but he was going to say it anyway because he said it's the truth. So be looking out for more charges against Rudy Giuliani. Yeah. Okay, so one other thing that I wanted to bring up, remember how Trump was threatening MSNBC and ABC News to pull their networking license? Well, the threat has begun. Okay, Comcast. They officially announced today that it is going to separate several networks or several shows from the NBC Universal franchise. Okay, this would include MSNBC. MSNBC is Joy Reid, Lawrence O'Donnell, Alice Wagner. Who else is on? Is it Ari Melber is on there? A few other people who's on there as well, right? So he's going to separate the MSNBC crew or segments from MSNBC, from NBC Universal. As of today, MSNBC, you know, they have a little problems here and there, but overall they have been very loud and vocal about politics this season, and very loud and vocal against Trump. In a surprise move, excuse me, Mika and Joe Scarborough from the Morning Joe Show has slid on over to the Democratic side and was bad mouthing Trump as well. I was very shocked because Joe Scarborough is a very, 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 very Republican person, right? Well, since Trump has won, Mika and Joe decided to go have a sit down with Trump in his private residence. No cameras were allowed in there. It was just them having a good old time, chucking it up with an old friend. Okay. And they basically came out of that meeting saying that they are going to give Trump the best of them. Now, all I'm really going to say in regards to that situation is I knew it. I said deep in my heart, and I probably said it to y'all, the majority of these Republicans that were supposedly crossing over to back Harris was lying. They was going to get in the booth and vote another way. And I think that's pretty much what happened. I really do think that's what happened. Anywho, I always thought that Mika was in an abusive marriage. If y'all don't realize, Mika and Joe are married, okay? I've always thought she was in an abusive marriage. This is my opinion. Joe has always had a way of speaking for her and over her, if you ever watch their segments. And I believe that he was never going to vote for Harris. He was just talking the talk. And Mika, I think, may have believed him for a second. Just because of her campaigns that she took up during this election. And she seemed so serious and adamant and genuine about those. I think that she's one of them women, being an immigrant herself, one of them women who have been told how to vote. That's what I really think about Mika. I really do. And there has been a lot of backlash from viewers saying that they will no longer watch the show because they sat down and met with Trump. And now they are saying, the network is saying, that a lot of the reporters or journalists or anchors or pundits or whatever they are, that they no longer align with the views of Comcast, which is why their show is going to be removed. Far as I know, they may not even be able to keep the name because they don't want them to have any affiliation with NBC Universal. So they may not be able to keep MSNBC as their segment name wherever they go. Okay. That's all I'm giving y'all on politics, child. That's all I'm giving y'all on politics. So another sad news, actor Tony Todd, who became famous as his role as Candyman. He also played in Final Destination. He passed away on November 6th. I know I haven't covered a lot of deaths. The last death we had was not Berry Gordy. Was it Berry Gordy? Why am I thinking it's not Berry Gordy? It's Jones. Who was it? Jones death. It was Quincy Jones. Okay. The last death we had was Quincy Jones, which happened actually 3 days before Tony Todd passed away. But Tony Todd was 69 years old. His cause of death, they did not release it at the time, and I still don't have any information on what he died from. But he has like 200 movies in his body of work. I didn't know about 200 of them, y'all. There's only one role that I remember this man for, and that is Candyman. I didn't even realize he was in Final Destination until I started researching his death. And I could bet a dime to a dozen there is many people out there like me who will not say the name of that character 3 times in a row. Especially not while looking in the mirror. We ain't gonna do it. We ain't gonna do it. P. Diddy jail cell was raided. I don't know if that's really bad news. Okay, so apparently privileged material and legal notes were reportedly taken during the jail raid. They raid jail cells all the time, especially if they suspect somebody has some paraphernalia that's not they're not supposed to have. They will raid jail. Now he is in a Manhattan jail that's separate from other prisoners, but he is still subject to raids. But his lawyers say that he find it kind of suspicious since they decided to specifically raid P. Diddy's jail cell. Like I said, raids happen all the fucking time. To me, this sounds like a setup. This sounds like this raid was paid for and staged by P. Diddy and his lawyer and jail officials in combination. These notes were supposedly containing details about defense witnesses that Diddy should not have any knowledge of. He should not have a list of the witnesses. And specific strategies that he wanted his lawyers to use during the trial. The trial is supposed to begin next year in May, child. It's going to be like OJ trial. Trust me, watch. Supposedly, whoever raided came in with a camera. I ain't never know. I've been in jail. I ain't never known them do no fucking raid where they bring in a camera. Okay, but anyway, they brought in the camera and took a picture of his to-do list. Again, his strategies that he wanted to have with his lawyer. And these pictures were taken and then provided to the prosecutor. So really they trying to say the prosecutor did this. No, this was Diddy and them. They did this specifically for this purpose, because now he's asking that his sex trafficking charges be dismissed because of this. He's claiming that these papers, these documents, these notes fell under attorney-client privilege. So like I said, his lawyer saying the timing of this is so suspicious. I don't know where they did this. But on the flip side, the prosecutors are saying Diddy and her acting a motherfucking fool, right? He is obstructing justice in relation to his crimes, and he's leaked materials that he views as helpful to his case to the media, specifically saying that he wanted to put out information that could taint a jury pool. This was his words, right? So to avoid being caught for him leaking information, he has been using telephone accounts of 8 other inmates, and he paid them for this use through the commissary. So they've been making commissary deposits for these 8 inmates so he could use their phone, right? Okay, this is in addition to him already blackmailing victims from jail. And then there's a lawyer out there who is representing 120 Diddy accusers. Now, we left off with 5 when the FBI raided his house. There is now 120 accusers. And he is warning all celebrities who attended the freak-offs that they need to pay up or get sued. Okay. He sent them out demand letters. So every celebrity that he had on his list, he sent them out demand letters telling them they need to pay up or get sued too. And even if they did nothing wrong, even if they didn't participate, pay, because he believes that their silence is just as complicit as the act. Their silence is making them liable. I tend to agree. If somebody sat back and knew I was being attacked and said or did nothing, laughed and joked about it and kept it hidden, especially now that that person's been arrested, you just as complicit. Okay, that's all I got on the sad and bad news. Okay, so we got coming up in the movies. I'm only gonna bring up one movie that I'm planning on going to see, and that is the long-awaited Gladiator 2. Gladiator 2. So it's a dinner. It's gonna hit the big screen November 21st in some cities, November 22nd nationwide. Y'all know that I am a movie buff. I just love the theater. I love watching stuff on the big screen. Yes, I have a big screen TV. It is not the same experience, okay? When I'm at home, I sit here, laugh, talk, and chuckle it up with my family members or whoever's around me. But when I'm at the theater, shut the fuck up. Let's enjoy the movie. We can laugh together. We can scream together. But that's about it. I don't need no conversations going on. I don't need my dog running through, my cat running through, no pity pat on the floor. I don't need to have to get up and go pee 4, 5, 6, 7 times. I don't need to do none of that. I ain't got to pause it because somebody knocked on the door, the phone rang. None of that. I like going to the theater. I like having a big box of popcorn. It gives me a fucking headache every time I eat it. And a 44 ounce of fruit punch, high C fruit punch, and a high C orange. You know what I'm saying? Very, very rarely can you find those in restaurants anymore. I like paying $30, $40, $50, $60, $70 for my little 2 chicken tenders at the doggone place. I like that experience, right? Trust me, I'm going to get me a movie pass this year because there are some good movies coming out in the next couple years. But this one specifically, Gladiator 2, oh, how I love the first one. Okay, how I love the first one. This is 25 years in the making, and it's starring none other than Denzel Washington, who only has a few more projects up his sleeve before he retires for good. I'll talk about that in another video, right? But I mean, there's some other great people in here, you know, like Pedro Pascal, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. But I am truly going to this movie to go see Denzel whoops ass, because he is the bad guy in this one. You know how I loved him in Training Day when he ain't nobody. You know what I'm saying? When he was, I'm King Kong up in this motherfucker, something like that. I can't remember the quote, but you know, Denzel says he's that person. He's an evil bastard in this one. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see it. A black man with that type of power in that day and age, in that era of time. I want to see it. I want to see it. If y'all looking forward to any other movies coming out at the end of this year, only thing I know of is Moana 2. I did like Moana 1. But, I may go see Moana 2 because I did like Moana 1. Mufasa, the Lion King. It is a live animation. I do not want to see it. James Earl Jones is dead too. So I don't even know. Is he the voice in this? Hold on. Let me see if James Earl Jones is the voice in Mufasa. Let me see. Mufasa. Is James Earl Jones? Because I think he died long before this movie came. Before this movie became in the action. Nope, he the voice in Mufasa 2000 in The Lion King 2019. Right. Mm-hmm. But not in this upcoming movie. I don't know who the voice of Mufasa is going to be, but it seemed like they changed the storyline to me in The Lion King. Just the same way they did with the fucking the Joker and Harley Quinn movie Joker 2. The storyline changed too much for me. I don't think I want to see it. Sonic 3, I will be there, baby. I will be there. I love me some Sonic. That's coming out at the end of this year. Kraven the Hunter. It looks very interesting. This is a Marvel character that I have no knowledge of. I've never heard of him. But so I don't know how he fits into the Marvel universe, or even he's part of the universe itself, or he's a standalone Marvel character. But that looks pretty decent, so I think I may go see that too. And then there's a horror called Nosferatu. I can never say the word. Nosferatu. Dracula, baby. That's basically what it is. Ain't Nosferatu Dracula? Mm-hmm. That's coming out at the end of this year too. It looks too fucking creepy for me. I like horror. I like thriller. I don't really like horror as much. Today's horror ain't really been horror. They've been like, jumpers. I like slasher films. That's what I like. But this one seems wickedly ill. Like Dracula's supposed to be like a lover, baby. I know he's supposed to be a ladies' man. This Dracula like a fucking monster. He ugly as fuck. Anyway, I don't think I'm going to see that. I don't know. Okay, but like I was saying, new movies are coming out over the next couple years that I'm interested in. This is just a few. See, Now You See Me 3. I loved 1. I love 2. I like magic. I love magicians and illusions and shit like that. It fucking fascinates me. So Now You See Me 3 is going to come out. I forgot to write down what years these come out. So between 2025 and 2026, that's when these movies come out. Shrek 5, baby. Shrek 5 is coming out. Another Avengers movie. The Kang Dynasty. And I do believe Kang is still Jonathan Majors. I do believe he is still Jonathan Majors. Frozen 3. Actually, that's not coming out to 2027. But Frozen 3 is coming out. I didn't see 1 or 2, but y'all loved it. I can't do nothing but go around hearing people sing Let It Go. I tried to watch it and I just did not get into it at all. I even tried to watch it on the plane when it was free and fell asleep. Yeah, I can't get into Frozen. It was not my jive. It was not my thing. Avatar 3. That's coming out. Avatar 2 was horrible for me. It was too fucking long, first of all. Let's start there. It was too fucking long. It was horrible. That storyline didn't match either. It didn't make no fucking sense. It was basically like the water version of Wakanda. And I didn't like Wakanda Forever. Yes, I didn't. I liked the Black Panther. I love Black Panther. Saw it 4 times. Wakanda Forever. I don't have to see that again. Anyhow, Toy Story 5, baby. Toy Story 5 is making its way to the big screen. I love me some Toy Story. Oh, Toy Story, Cars. I love it. Toy Story 5 is coming out. There'll be a new Superman movie coming out next year. I don't think it's part of the DC franchise. I'm not sure, but it's just called Superman. So it's a new Superman. I don't know who's playing them either. I didn't bother to look it up. Mortal Kombat. The second movie is coming out. I did enjoy the first one. And they're going to have another Jurassic Park. When you thought it was over, this is going to be the rebirth. So it's going to be Jurassic World, the rebirth. Now, those are just a few movies that's coming out within the next couple of years. Be ready for it. I am going to get me a movie pass this time where I can see 3 free movies a month. It really ain't 3 free because I'm paying for the pass, but they get 3 movies a month. Yeah, if the world doesn't turn upside down, which I'm praying that it's not, hopefully I will get to enjoy these movies. All right, so in happier news, friend to the channel is J Dubs. He was a reality TV show reviewer. Is that how I met him? Yeah, when we were both reviewing Ready to Love, I met him through YouTube that way. So he actually hooked up with one of the cast members from Ready to Love. I say season 5, they say season 4 because they don't count Resort as a number. Sabrina Soul. They got a lot of backlash about their relationship last year. You know, I didn't say nothing, I don't think, to y'all about it, but I did have a like, how did it happen? But okay, dog, I'm happy for you. You know what I'm saying? And you know, they both said he said he was very intentional on how he was going to move towards this woman because he believed this is the love of his life. They developed a friendship that meant the world to him. This, that, and the third, right? So they got married, child. They got married on November 11th at 11:11 a.m. They got some beautiful video and footage, photos of themselves on Instagram. They have been off of their YouTube channel for about a year because they was receiving so much negativity and backlash, and ex-wives and current wives or whatever was coming out of the woodwork and this, that, and the third, and it kind of divided the fan base. I say congratulations to both of them. They looked gorgeous together. I hope they have a very happy and successful marriage. So congratulations to SJ Dubs and congratulations to Sabrina Soul. Okay, last but not least, we're going to get the channel news that I got going on. I am going to start doing TV show reviews again. They will be returning next week. Yes, this is indeed a distraction. I found that this political cycle has made me very angry and very triggered, and I don't like this feeling. I stand by my feelings. I believe that they are justified. I'm still like, fuck you and feed you grits. I still am like done, you know what I'm saying? But I need a distraction. I need to not necessarily turn off or tune out politics. I need to water it down some. So if you need that as well, we're going to start enjoying TV shows on this channel again. Okay? Like I said, I'm not removing the political content. I'm just going to water it down by adding other content back to the channel. Things that we used to do, things that we used to love. So for all of you who wondered, Blood and Water. My viewership was low on that this season, but that's okay. I didn't do the season when it was airing, and I'm not doing it again when it's airing. But I will complete it. I left off on episode 2. We got 4 more episodes to do. It was only a 6-episode season. So I'm going to finish out Blood and Water. They did get picked up for season 5. However, I do not have a date on when it's going to return. Power Book 3, Raising Kanan. My favorite franchise of the whole doggone Power universe. Season 4 is expected to return in December. That's just next month. However, they still have not announced an actual return date. The trailer has been out since September, and it keeps saying it's coming in winter. So I'm assuming December, only because last year it started in December. They also already got renewed for season 5. Then they announced that they were going to have Power Origins. The fans named it that. I don't know if they're going to keep it that way, but right now it's Power Origins. They did get greenlit for that series to go ahead after he canceled Power Book 2. And they actually began development of the show back in March of this year. So I'm expecting that to drop as soon as Raising Kanan ends, or after Power Book 4 goes off, because Power Book 4 usually comes on right after Raising Kanan. So we expect to see that next year. Okay. The Handmaid's Tale. It returns spring of 2025. Spring begins in March. So somewhere between March and May 31st, Handmaid's Tale is going to air. We have no exact date at this time. I will be returning with it. And I believe they will have to air it before May 31st because they want to get that Emmy. And in order for them to get an Emmy, they have to start airing the show to at least 50% of the United States by May 31st. The Testament has been greenlit. I believe The Testament is going to begin after season 6 of the original Handmaid's Tale ends. The Last of Us is a TV show that I watch. It's going to return in spring of 2025. I don't review it though. House of the Dragon is a show that I watch and review. Will not be back until 2026. The Handmaid's Tale. I meant to say this earlier, but I'm going to say it now. If you started watching The Handmaid's Tale with me on this channel, you are all aware that I started season 2. I watched all of season 1. I did a quick summary. Was left a whole lot of shit out, but I did a quick summary about season 1, and then I rolled right into season 2. I am going to go back and actually review season 1. Give us something to do. Fill in the little blanks, especially since with all the stuff that went down to season 1 is so applicable today to today's political climate. I think it's going to be a good idea for me to go back and review season 1 episode by episode. So get ready for that, right? Okay. I'm going to try to add 2 new shows to the channel. I'm tossing up whether to do Yellowstone series and make it 3 shows. I heard Yellowstone was really good. I remember Miss Honey used to talk about Yellowstone all the time. I will be watching it for the first time. I didn't want to watch it while I was on because the prequels had already came out. So the prequels were 1883 and 1923. Those shows were so fucking good. 1883 just got renewed for a second season. I'm ready for it. So I think I want to review Yellowstone. All 5 seasons, I believe it is. So if it's something that y'all want to watch, of something y'all haven't seen, or y'all did watch it and you want like to see somebody do reviews on it, you like the style in which I do reviews, come on over to this channel and let me know. Put it down in the comment section and I'll see if I review that. A lot of y'all don't comment anymore. So I'm not just be winging this shit. So I don't know. Maybe I'll just wing it any fucking way. And we'll see. Okay, so the next show of the brand new shows is this one is on Amazon Prime, but I'm going to post it weekly. I think the whole first season is up. It is the TV show Cross. This is a TV adaptation of the character Alex Cross from the books of James Patterson. The character, his initial book originated in 1993. Yeah, 1993. This role has been infamously played by Morgan Freeman and surprisingly Tyler Perry. He did a good job in the actual movie. But I think with Morgan Freeman, he did it like Long Came a Spider and some other things like that. Okay. But on the Amazon Prime show, it's old sexy ass Aldous Hodge. He's going to be playing Alex Cross. We're going to dive a little bit more into his family life, this, that, and the third. Look, it's already been picked up for season 2. So that's one reason I want to start reviewing this as well, because I know there's a season 2 to come. If y'all want to see me swoon over a man, watch these reviews. Baby, Aldous Hodge. Ooh. I've been in love with him since Underground. Probably a little bit before then, but even on Underground, he was a enslaved person. He looked a hot, funky mess. He got on my nerves some damn times, but the man looks good, and he loves him some black women. Oh, he capped for us. He caped for us. He don't cap. He caped for us hard as a motherfucker. I love me some Aldous Hodge. And then he's so real. He just so, when you hear him interview, it's like talking to one of your homeboys with his old sexy swagger. Yes, I will be watching Cross and I will be reviewing it. So if you have Amazon Prime, check it out and then come back and watch these reviews, right? The second show is going to be a surprise to you guys. As far as the name of it, I'm going to give y'all some clues. This show has never been reviewed in its entirety by anybody on YouTube that I've seen. I've seen a couple people do talk about the series itself or talk about certain characters, but never have I seen anybody go episode by episode. And that's because this show aired in 2004. It aired before YouTube even existed. YouTube did not exist until December of 2005. So nobody was reviewing TV shows at the time. And by the time that it ended and went off the air, I still don't think that people were reviewing TV shows at the particular time. So I started reviewing TV shows about 2005. So yeah, around the time that it went off the air, people had just started really doing reviews on TV shows. So it is said to be one of the most popular TV series of all times. You can Google it probably and figure out what the hell I'm talking about. There's 6 seasons of the show, so there's plenty of recaps for me to do, and it's now all available on Netflix. Almost everybody has Netflix, so you can go watch it there. I say I'm not going to name the name of it, but if you can guess what the name of the show is, T.R. Williams, you excluded because I already told you who it was, child. Drop it in the comments below of this video, and I may give you may have the chance to win a prize in the opening recap episode of that particular show. I'm going to bring back the emoji vault. So doing it, what the emoji vault is we have a bunch of damn emojis on our phones. That's the vault, right? So I throw out some trivia questions during the recaps and reviews. If you get the answers correct, they may be related to the show. They may be just some random shit from movies or TVs or songs and stuff like that. Maybe something random like that. But if you can guess what the answer is, you drop it in the comment section of that video, and I will give you an emoji vault prize. Ain't nobody else got no prizes like that. Ain't nobody else giving out no prizes like that. So come on through, have some fun while we doing these recaps and reviews. Guess what the answer is, and get you a prize from the emoji vault, baby. Okay. So I'll thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for coming back. I know this is a long video. I want y'all to stay tuned, because I'm going to try to get back into my groove of things, and I hope to see y'all in the next video. Peace out.